The following program is an OCAmedia community-produced episode of Oregon Life, and we would like to thank our sponsors, Torhorse Insurance, the Oregon Brooklyn Optimist Club, and the Oregon Freemasons. We are proud to have you as our sponsors.
All right, you bet. Well, I'm going to hold the mic up. You won't be able to hear anything because it's for the recording. So we're going to project for you. Hopefully you can hear us okay. But again, welcome everyone to Beehive Homes 10th anniversary grand opening of building number 3. As Andy mentioned, my name is Jason Johns. Actually, Josh's older brother. So not just his older brother. A lot of people like to think I'm his better looking brother. So wanted to just throw that out there. No, he's definitely got the looks. So, but listen, I'm a veteran of Iraq War, Purple Heart veteran, past state commander for the VFW, and it's just an honor to be here and have this opportunity to kind of take a moment to recognize the veterans we have living here at Beehive, but also just really to kind of give gratitude for what we have in this country and the blessings we have. So, if you would, given we recently observed Memorial Day, I'd like to ask everyone, please just bow your head for a moment so we can take a moment of silence for those we lost who made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask Andy's nephew, Jack. Where you at, Jack? So Jack's going to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by my daughter, Abby, who's going to sing the Star Spangled Banner. So I'd like to ask, if you're not already standing, if you are able to stand, please stand as we do the pledge, and the flag's right here. For veterans, you can render a hand salute if you wish. Others, please place your hands over your heart. Jack.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Jack, for leading the pledge. Thank you, Abby, for a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. That never gets old for me, not only as a proud dad of her singing, but just that song particularly, and having her join me at different events to recognize veterans and their service. So thank you again, Abby. At this time, we'd like to recognize the veterans who call Beehive their home. As I call your name, please just give a wave for us, and if everybody could hold their applause to the end. All right, Home 101, Richard McGeegan. Army. Richard. Jerry Weibel, Marine Corps. Hoorah, Devil Dog. Rose Struvetra. Although not a veteran herself, her son was a career Navy and husband was career Navy. And I, for one, know that those who serve in the military, we couldn't do it without the families. So thank you, Rose. Home 151, Jim Connor, Army. Ray Exum, Army. Is he out? There he is. There's Ray. Bob Smith, Navy. Where you at, Bob? You're right behind me? There you are. Who ya, squid? You can. That's good. We're gonna wave and applaud. You can sit down, Bob. That's fine. Hey, Bob. Brad Boyles, Marine Corps. Hoorah. And at home 201, Ronald Buckles, Navy. Where's Ronald at? All right. Hey, Ronald. Thomas Redman, Army, National Guard. Thank you, sir. Paul Mangan, Air Force. Aim high, Paul. And Robert Ruth, Marine Corps. Okay. So on behalf of everyone here, we wish to thank all of you, right, for your sacrifice, your service. Appreciate you. We're glad to call you a brother.
Ray Coleman instead of Ray.
All right, finally, I'd like to ask Abigail Ryan to please raise her hand. Where you at, Abigail? Where's Abby at? Right here? Is that you, Abby? All right, so Abby is an employee here at Beehive and is shipping off to Army boot camp in a couple of weeks, so please join me in wishing her good luck. All right, so without further ado, I'll turn this back over to Andy to lead some acknowledgments and get the show started on the ribbon cutting celebration.
Thank you so much,
bet.
Jason. I
You bet.
appreciate it, man. Jason has done so much for us in our 10 years. Thank you so much. We are so incredibly grateful. And it takes every single one of you, every single one of the community members, family, to make this happen. So I'm going to try to stick to my notes here just so that I don't go off the rails. There's a number of us that'd like to say a few things, so I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. We don't have amplification, so I don't know how well everybody can hear, but Frank is going to be broadcasting this, and you'll be able to listen to this again if you choose to, if you didn't catch something that you'd like to hear. So just a few housekeeping items. Can we all just keep our residents in mind today? I mean, they're the reason that we're here, and if we could keep an eye out for them, for their safety, to keep a head count, to make sure everybody's accounted for. If the music is getting a little too loud or the crowds are getting a little too overstimulating, please recognize that and maybe pull them out of that scenario and get them into a little bit more of a quiet space. We have all of our team members in colored shirts today. We got the teal and the mint green and the pink. And even in the gray, if you recognize anybody in one of these shirts and you notice that a resident needs some help or maybe needs to get some assistance to the bathroom, please grab somebody so that we can do that for you, okay? No balloons. We got a lot of fun for the kids and stuff like that. No balloons in the alpaca area. We got to make sure my good friend Travis brought his show animals up on display today, and it's going to be a lot of fun to check them out, but we want to make sure that those animals stay protected, so please keep the water balloons away from the alpacas. House tours, if anybody wants to see our homes, and I mean, we're so proud of the way these look. TJK, we thank you for building these things for us. TJK has a film crew here today, and they're going to capture some footage and some drone shots and stuff like that for us, so we're super grateful for that. But if you want a tour of the home, just again remember to be respectful of our resident space and maybe grab a team member and to walk through the home with you so we can show you around, and you're more than welcome to tour anything that you'd like here, okay? Somebody make Craig's bed for him, please. Anybody you'd like to invite today? I know it's early in the day. We're going to be here all day. We're going to have music. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to invite family members or anybody who wants, you think would have some fun here, bring them on over. We'd like to run out of brats and run out of food and run out of ice cream. Ice cream truck coming at 1 to 3. Please eat your fill of ice cream. Ty Harding, where you at, Ty? He's forking the bill on ice cream, so eat as much ice cream as you can eat. Okay. The door code, please, the door, be respectful of the door code, and please keep that within the frequent family members. Let's see here. I don't know. We've come a long way. We got a first draft of a newsletter that's out, and my girlfriend Katie. Thank you, Katie, for all your love and support. She's a special gal. And she helped me draft the first part of our newsletter that I didn't put out yet, but that's to come. And it's got some fun things on there. But we have a guest sign-in book. We ask that you sign the book. We'd love to send you a thank you card and perhaps even get you onto our newsletter listing if you choose to be on that. Yeah, man, where do I start? Okay, I was asked to tell the Beehive story, and I could go on and on about how that came to be, but essentially, Ty and Josh, could you please just step forward and maybe raise your hands for everybody to see? Give these guys a round of applause, will you? These two gentlemen could be anywhere in the world right now, and they choose to be here. They choose to be here not out of obligation, but they choose to be here because they love us and they want to support us. And when I think about how to tell the Beehive story, I think about family. And Josh has always been family to me. We grew up together, and long story short, just to give everybody a full picture, Beehive is a franchise. There's a corporation, and 30 some years ago, Ty was a wise enough man to recognize the quality and value that Beehive stood on, the values that they stood on in caring for seniors, and he bought in to be a sub-franchiser to help the Beehive name grow, mostly in Montana, I think originally maybe Utah, and then years later, Josh Burlage, Montana Josh comes along, who was a Wisconsin guy, and goes out to meet Ty, and I love the story. I just got to tell the story really quick because Josh did some research on assisted living, and he knew that it was the field that he wanted to be, and he wanted to do better for seniors than what his grandparents got. And he started doing some research, and he tracks down this gentleman named Ty Harding. Ty tells his wife Marcia, we got a hippie from Wisconsin coming out, and he wants to stay with us for a couple days. And Marcia said, well, I guess that's okay, but he's sleeping in the guest house. And Josh shows up with his ponytail and his flip-flops and his cargo shorts. And they instantly fell in love. And I think Josh got to sleep in the house that weekend. So, and I was out to Montana several times and got to see Josh build his homes in Columbia Falls and then later in Kalispell. And throughout that process, I had a very close friend of mine named Josh Fine, who, as you all know, is now my business partner with his wife, Gina. And they would often ask me about the Burlages in Montana. They knew the Burlages, of course. Growing up, we all grew up in the same area. And they would often ask me, do you think the Burlages would ever consider us running one of their beehives out in Montana? I said, well, you got to ask them. I don't know, probably. But that was the seed that was planted. And back in 2015, we went down to the Texas Fort Worth area. The Badgers were in the Final Four. I don't know if it was, I think it was maybe the second year. Frank Kaminsky, everybody remembers the great run of the Badgers, right? And so we went down to enjoy the basketball that weekend, and Beehive of Oregon was born in a hot tub. We sat in a hot tub, and Josh Burlage said, if this is something that you want to do, you can do it. I know you can do it. And I discovered that weekend all of what it would take to do. And I knew that I didn't want to pursue that mission on my own. And I think financially it felt a little overwhelming as well. And with the Fines asking and showing their interest in the Burlages out in Montana, it was kind of a no-brainer for me to at least approach them to see if it's something that they'd be interested in. And Gina, with her nursing background, and Josh is a longtime loyal friend and tradesman, as I was back then. I asked them if they'd be interested, and they said they'd get back to me. And it was 3 days later they invited me over for dinner, and we never looked back. We never looked back since. And we did everything it took, and we're so incredibly grateful to look at the entire build out and for it to be a very real thing. And as I told our team before we started here, that it just absolutely is not possible without them, and it's not possible without our residents and our family members. And so, to make this as brief as I can to sum it up, when I think about the story of Beehive, from the corporate team to Ty to us to our team in Oregon to our friends in Mount Horeb who have also built a building, their expansion, they're doing very well out in Mount Horeb as well. And but I think about family. That's what just continues to come to mind, is family, treating people like family, and that's really what we're striving for here at Beehive. And I had a really hard conversation with a resident family member recently that had a negative experience, and we talked at length about a number of different things, and we kind of came to that end of that conversation, and it was kind of this realization of, for better or for worse, families are families, and families aren't perfect. And any analogy that I can think of about what a family is and what Beehive is and represents, it really is kind of one and the same. So families, my motto word today. I'm probably missing something, but I think for the most part I said enough. And I just thank you all. I hope that we don't miss somebody in these acknowledgments. It just takes so many people to do this, and we're just incredibly grateful. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Jessie here, and she's one of our managers. Who is that? Oh, okay. I thought that was you working hard. I cannot say. Let's give Jessie a round of applause, really quick, huh? The growth that this woman has shown in the recent years, and balancing her life. Where's your son Carter at? Carter, get up here, buddy. No idea. Oh, he's probably throwing a water balloon at somebody. But she managed raising Carter, single mom, managing Beehive, and she just continues to show up every day with an attitude that proves that she's committed to her residents and her team. And this is Carter. So I'm going to pass the mic off and have fun today. Today's a day of celebration, so let's have some fun. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Andy. So like you said, my name's Jessie. I've been with Beehive 6 years now. But my speech today is about the Alzheimer's Walk. So I've been actually doing the Alzheimer's Walk for about 19 years with my aunt. And then when my grandfather got diagnosed with dementia back in 2008, seeing him go through his own struggles, Alzheimer's, took his life after 12 years. And seeing the care that he was getting, I made a devotion to myself that I was going to give back to the community. And I promised myself when I turn 18, I'm going to become a caregiver, and I'm going to give back to others that need that loving care. So 3 years ago, I decided to join and make a team for Beehive through the Alzheimer's Association. And the first year, I actually have statistics here. First year, we had 26 walkers, and we fundraised $755. And then the second year, we had 45 walkers and fundraised $5,970. And just last year, we had 53 walkers and fundraised over $9,362. And so with that, when I attended, also, where's Tom? Is Tom up here? right there. So Tom joined our team 2 years ago, and he's been a huge part on growing our team, doing fundraising. His wife Julie is with us, and he and I are both, he's actually more active in the Alzheimer's Association than I am, but we've been kind of a team together and making the fundraising and our team stronger every year. So with last year, we attended the award ceremony, and we received 2 awards for the largest care senior team, and then also for the most money raised as a care senior team. So just being able to contribute to our community and give back to others is a huge thing in my heart. And I just appreciate everybody that we can give and serve. So I'm going to pass it over to Tom so you can say a few words. And then also we do have postings on all of the doors with our QR code. So if you want to donate or to either register for the walk, it's Sunday, October 4th, and it's at 10 a.m. So I'll pass it over to Tom.
Thank you, Jesse. Andy, thanks for teeing it up for me, saying that we don't want to miss acknowledging people today. And I think I speak for every single caregiver here. This acknowledgement needs to start at the top. So Andy, Josh, and Gina, safe to say we'd rather be someplace else, but we can't. And you make things easier for every single caregiver here. Speaking for myself, and I bet I am for many of you here too, you make caregivers feel like a spouse again. And you do the heavy lifting. And so the 3 of you and every one of your staff members, I want all of us to raise our hands and applaud every single worker here at Beehive. You do wonderful work for our loved ones. You do the heavy lifting with our loved ones, and safe to say, I've said this more times than I can count. You treat the caregiver on an emotional level too, and I know that we all need that. So now to get a little bit about the walk to end Alzheimer's, as Jesse said, that is on October the 4th, and she wanted me to say a few words about tips on how to raise some money. Safe thing is, yeah, we'd like to raise more money. Right now we're, I think, $5,440 to date. We are, I think, 46% to our goal. We're 54%. We have a goal of 10,000. So you can't scan that QR code enough. You can't send that QR code out enough. And you can't tell people enough about how important this walk is. Important to know that for all of Alzheimer's Association, these walks are the primary revenue producing event. And without significant dollars raised across the U.S., the services that Alzheimer's Association provides for the residents and those afflicted with the disease and the caregivers would all be lost. So there's no such thing as not generating enough. What I'll say, if you're sort of like me, I know just enough about technology to be dangerous, or at least to talk about it. You can either scan the QR code, will take you right to the donation page, or I'm old school. I knew by wearing a pink shirt, I would be the only guy wearing one today. Find me in the pink shirt, and we'll be old school. I'll give you my business card. You can send an email to me. I'll forward you the text when you're comfortably back at home and not worrying about your loved one here. So a big shout out to the Beehive team for really putting an emphasis on raising funds for a very valuable source, very valuable resource. Second thing I want to talk about, and it's the last thing, is a group called Connections. And those of you who have attended, you've heard this story before, but some of you may not know what Connections is. It is basically a caregiver support group unique for loved ones here. And some might say it's a place to sort of vent, grieve a little bit. It can be that, but it's also a place where we share some wisdom. My wife has been a resident here since January 12th of 2022, so we're old timers. That also means I've seen a lot, And if I can help one person not take 5 years or so to accept the tribulations in this journey, then it's a win-win. So this is a place where loved ones of residents get together and share what has worked for them, maybe what hasn't worked for them, and we feed off one another. Speaking of feed, there's always some snacks, some drinks during the, or at least not adult beverages, but standard drinks are provided there. But it's a great place to talk one-to-one with people who are in the same spot you are now. They meet once a month, usually on a Thursday at about 6 o'clock. And Matthew's great at putting the posters on each one of the homes so you see date, time, and which building it's going to be in. So again, I'll close with the most important part here today, and that is, again, to thank everyone here at Beehive. You make our lives, I'm not saying that they're easy, but they're easier. And without you, we wouldn't know what easier feels like. Thank you.
So next up, I'm going to pass the microphone to Matthew, our administrator. So he does a great job of, making sure the families feel welcome, making sure our current families, all their needs are met, and making sure that we have such a great, strong team here in our community. So I'm going to pass it off to Matthew.
Man. Thanks to everyone for coming out. Really appreciate seeing all you guys here, and appreciate the owners, the managers, assistant managers, caregivers. Just Beehive wouldn't be able to put on the celebration of this third home and celebrating 10 years without having everyone here. So thankful to all the families, all their advocacy, involvement in their loved ones' care. Oftentimes, a lot of these moments of gratitude and care happen behind closed doors. Sometimes quiet times of the nights, early morning hours. We're thankful for all the sacrifices our care team continue to make, whether that's coming in early for someone, working through things, just taking care of them at the highest possible level. Specifically, I'm always thankful for when it's the winter time and they're always testing the limits, making sure their car will get it through the snow. The unplowed roads of Oregon sometimes are challenging, and they just continue to make sacrifices and make the highest quality care possible at Beehive, and we're just eternally grateful for that. They just do a great job. Community is kind of the big word today for us, community and gratitude. Community, our activity team that help community do what we do, and all those photos and videos on Facebook. Oftentimes we joke that Kathleen always knows a person, or knows the person who knows the person. And we've learned easily that sometimes it's easier to ask Kathleen versus Google or Facebook some people. So we appreciate Kathleen, and I know she's got a few words to share too. So we appreciate all the families and caregivers here. So thank you.
As he said, my name is Kathleen, and I think I have the distinct pleasure of being Beehive's first employee. I took care of my dad for 10 years in my home. He had a stroke, and I thought, as we were driving around one day, I saw that this building was being built with a sign, and I'm like, I'm just going to be nosy and pop in. So I did, and I met Andy. Instantly fell in love. I think the first thing I said to him is, who picked out the paint colors? I was so thrilled not to see mauve, baby blue. I was like, whoever painted this, they have got it going on. So I kind of fell in, I met Andy, I think I met Gina, Josh, all of them the same day. I had my husband come up, and I just fell in love with them. Their heart for what they do is why I'm here. I could have retired years ago. This was not exactly my background, but I learned so much with my dad living with me that at first I thought, I'll just do this as a consulting thing. And then my dad passed away, still living at my home. And I did something that I never do. I put it out to the universe. If I meant to do something at Beehive, just show me a sign. And I had not talked to Andy it had probably been a couple months. They were busy getting everything going. And all of a sudden that next morning the phone rang and Andy was like, hey, do you think you'd still be interested in working here? And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to now because I put it out to the universe and it came back to me. But it has been absolutely wonderful. When I started, there was just the one building, so I've seen so much growth. Through all that growth, there is never a moment I can't message Andy, Josh, or Gina, and whatever I need, they will be there. They aren't just owners. Their heart is so much more, not only when they're here, but I've seen them in the community. I've seen them at restaurants. I've seen Josh go up to strangers to offer to have them come sit with us. If it wasn't for their heart, I would be just sitting lounging at my pool all day long, all summer. So they mean the world to me. They really do. I could not do it without my team now because we've grown. I have Joy and Allison. I don't know where Allison's here. I'm not sure where Joy is, but both fantastic. I couldn't do this by myself. Absolutely not. I want to thank the community because without you, we couldn't have so many of the fun things we do. The schools have been tremendous. We had a reading program, music. I can reach out to anybody and I know they'll answer. We've had 4-H, homeschool, what else? Soccer team coming in to play bingo. So many pieces of the community come together for us, and it means the world. We are a little different. I often say we get the fun job. We don't have to do the cares, but memory care goes so far beyond cares. It is preserving dignity, creating moments of joy, meeting them where they're at, not where we think they should be. It's meeting them right where they're at. You may see someone and feel like their quality of life, maybe it's not great, but I promise you, you can make a connection, you can get a smile. They're there. So don't think you should visit less or do anything less as perhaps things decline a little. It is so important to show up and be there and just talk about whatever they want to talk about. It really, as long as you're there, that connection is so special. So what else can I say? We do have a Best of Madison voting coming up soon. We would love to. We have been like bronze for multiple years. We'd really like to get up to the silver gold standard would be perfect. Really all we need for that is votes. So I will put it on the Beehive page. We'll post it on the doors in each of the buildings so you could vote. That would be amazing. Let's see if I have anything else. I had some cheat notes. I didn't need them, I guess. I touched base on it, but I'll say what I wrote. Memory care is about much more than meeting physical needs. It's about preserving dignity, fostering joy, and creating moments of comfort and belonging. Because of your support, we are better able to provide these moments. And so I thank all the groups. I know I missed out some. Frank, you're one of them. You'll always come up when we ask. He's done some amazing stories for us. And really just appreciate all of you and absolutely think Matthew is tremendous in his role, as are the caregivers. I always applaud them. I know how hard it is because I did it just for one person 24/7 for 10 years. So I know how hard it is for doing it for everybody else. So thank you to my team, Joy and Allison, and really to the owners because you are fantastic. So thank you.
Let's give Gina Fine a round of applause. Gina is our nursing oversight in our Masters of System Processes, and Gina is paralysis by analysis, if that term, rings true to anybody else, but truthfully, Gina has done such an amazing job in supporting our residents and what they need, building the systems for all of our team to follow. And it's taken a long time for us to really feel confident in all of the tools that we have. And so much of that is Gina's the reason for that. So I think, Gina, we really wanted to just thank a few people that maybe haven't been acknowledged. Karen, you want to give a little wave? Karen is here at a moment's notice, cleaning, helping, cooking. decorating, Tom, who you heard spoke, getting our flower pots going. Who else am I missing here? Don Schwab. Give a big wave, Don. We took care of Don's wife here, and he's supported us. He's never missed a beat in supporting us every day beyond that. And Jay Gold, I mean, he's showing up every day, thanking our team, high-fiving our girls, making everybody feel good. Man, I don't know. We're gonna miss somebody here. Is there anybody else that you can think of? I do want to thank my mom and dad and my family for being so loving and supporting. They're always, where are they at? Where are you guys at? Okay, oh, there you are. So my dad helped us paint all 3 of these buildings. I mean, we're talking some serious hard work, and he did it because he wanted to help, simply because he wanted to help, and he wouldn't let me pay him for anything. He wouldn't take a dime, and they were adamant that we get that flagpole up. They were adamant that was what this property needed. So they gave us the push to get us over the top with that flagpole out there. I'm so sorry if we missed anybody. Everybody you all mean so much to us and everything that we do. Josh Fine is going to close us out, and then let's have some fun. Thank you.
Sorry, just one quick thing. I want all of you to know, no matter how long ago your loved one might have been here, we do not ever forget. Like Josh and I always, like often on the bus, and Andy will bring up someone like Vera, her daughter is here. So many people, we might walk past a room and just like a memory comes up. So I want you to know you're all family to us, whether you're here now, whether you were here, 9 years ago. We do not ever forget.
All right. If you all know me, I'm not very scripted. So I wrote a little something these past couple weeks. How fortunate am I? How fortunate am I to get to know all these wonderful people? This tree began 10 years ago, and now the branches have spread to so many families and friends. From 10 years ago, sitting in Bluff Street with a good friend, to now is such a huge jump. I want to recognize my business partner, Andy. I noticed something different in Andy 35 years ago. There's a feeling of compassion that emanated from him, and this compassion is what drew me to him and what draws us here today. Andy, you're truly a brother, and I'm thankful for your friendship. For my wife, Gina. As everyone knows, Gina works her tail off day in and day out. This woman put her heart and soul into this business, and Gina's determination and will are nothing short of remarkable, and I love her for that. Now, Ty and Burlage. I want to recognize these 2 gentlemen. These 2 have shown us what it means to have heart. The amount that these 2 do for Beehive largely goes unnoticed, and I love you both more than you know. Now I want to start off the prayer with a verse from John 13, verse 34. A new command I give to you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. Father, grant us the strength to love one another. Give us wisdom to notice when our neighbor, friend, or relative is in need. Give us the compassion and forgiveness when the times are tough, and give us joy when the times are great. Lord, thank you for leading us to this moment with all of these special people. We are truly grateful to serve one another in this community and in our homes. Father, this is all because of you. In your name, amen. Well, thank all of you, and let's celebrate. Enjoy the food. It's all good.
Jen Hoppy's the only one we didn't get it. Is she in here?
Can you hold that for a second?
Soon coming. Let's go, cut her up, I guess.
Where it began the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hand, touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never felt so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the night. It don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I heard was on my shoulder, how can I hurt when I'm holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never felt so good, so good, so good, so good. I've been inclined, ba, 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 to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never felt so good, so good, so good, so good. I've been inclined, ba, 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 to believe they never would. No, 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 no.